Welcome to our guide on surviving a zombie apocalypse. You know, the kind of scenario that keeps you up at night wondering if you've got what it takes to make it out alive. Well, fear no more, because we're diving deep into the science of survival. Today we'll be sharing top tips from scientists and experts to help you stay safe. We're talking real-world strategies backed by research and a healthy dose of cosmic perspective, because hey, if we can understand the vastness of the universe, surely we can handle a few brain-hungry zombies, right? So buckle up, get ready to engage those neurons, and let's explore the fascinating world of zombie survival. So the zombie apocalypse has hit the fan. Cities are overrun, chaos reigns, and your neighbor's looking a little peckish. What's your first move? According to researchers at Cornell University, your best bet is to ditch the concrete jungle and head for the hills. Literally, we're talking about high ground, sparsely populated areas, places where a zombie horde would take weeks, even months, to penetrate. Think about it, zombies are slow, shambling creatures with no concept of strategy. They're all about the path of least resistance. Now imagine a dense city like New York or Los Angeles, millions of people packed into a confined space. That's a zombie buffet, folks. But the Rockies, the Appalachians, those vast, rugged landscapes, that's a logistical nightmare for a horde of the undead. It's pure math. The denser the population, the faster the zombie virus spreads. But out in the wilderness, you've got time on your side. Time to fortify, time to strategize, time to adapt to your new reality. Think of it like this. In the vast cosmic arena, Earth is just a tiny stage. And on this stage, humans and zombies are playing out a high-stakes game of survival. And just like in the universe, where gravity dictates the movement of celestial bodies, in a zombie apocalypse, population density dictates the movement of the undead. So, when the dead start rising, remember the wise words of Cornell's researchers: head for the hills. Your odds of survival just might depend on it. Okay, so you've escaped the initial outbreak and found yourself a relatively safe haven. Now, the name of the game is staying off the radar of those lumbering, groaning hordes. And believe it or not, one of the most effective ways to do that is also one of the simplest. Keep quiet. You see, zombies with their decaying brains and insatiable hunger aren't exactly known for their advanced cognitive abilities. In fact, their behavior shares striking similarities with a condition we know as ADHD, or Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. Now imagine a zombie with CDHD, chronic decayed hyperactive disorder. They're easily distracted, constantly on the move, their senses overwhelmed by the chaos around them. A sudden noise here, a flash of movement there. They're like moths drawn to a flickering flame. That's why maintaining absolute silence is crucial. Every rustle of leaves, every snapping twig, every muttered curse word is like a beacon to these sensory overloaded creatures. So ditch the noisy jewelry, silence your cell phone, assuming there's still cell service in the apocalypse. And for the love of all that is holy, don't even think about crunching on a bag of chips. Remember, in a world overrun by the undead, silence isn't just golden, it's your secret weapon for survival. It's about blending into the background noise, becoming invisible to the ravenous hordes. Think of it like this. In the vast expanse of space, there's an eerie silence, punctuated only by the faint whispers of cosmic radiation. That silence is a testament to the emptiness of space, the absence of anything to disturb the cosmic peace. In a zombie apocalypse, you need to become like space itself, silent, still, and utterly undetectable. It's about outsmarting the undead, not by brute force, but by understanding the limitations of their decaying brains. Let's face it, no matter how stealthy you are, there are times when a confrontation with the undead is unavoidable. You might find yourself cornered, outnumbered, or just plain unlucky. But before you resign yourself to becoming zombie chow, remember this: even the most decayed brain can be manipulated. And the key to manipulation? Distraction. Remember that CDHD we talked about? Well, it turns out that damage to the posterior parietal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for spatial awareness and attention, plays a significant role in this heightened distractibility. It's like their brains are stuck on a constant loop of, ooh, shiny. So how do we use this to our advantage? By creating distractions, of course. Think fireworks, flares, even a good old-fashioned car alarm. These sudden, intense stimuli can momentarily hijack a zombie's already fried neural pathways, giving you that precious window of opportunity to make your escape. Imagine this. You're trapped in an alleyway, a horde of groaning zombies closing in from both ends. It's a scene straight out of a horror movie, right? But instead of panicking, you reach into your backpack, pull out a road flare, and ignite it with a satisfying hiss. The effect is instantaneous. The zombies, drawn to the bright light and sudden noise, turn their attention away from you, their decaying brains struggling to process the new stimulus. And in that brief moment of chaos, you slip past them, melting into the shadows. It's like redirecting a cosmic ray burst, using its own energy to avoid a catastrophic collision. It's about understanding the science of the zombie brain and using it to your advantage. So far we've talked about outrunning, outsmarting and outmaneuvering the undead. But what if I told you that sometimes the best way to survive a zombie apocalypse is to blend in with the enemy? Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the art of zombie mimicry. Now, before you dismiss this as sheer madness, remember that zombies aren't exactly known for their facial recognition skills. They identify each other primarily through movement and sound. The telltale shambling gait, the guttural moans, the vacant stares. So, theoretically, if you can master the art of zombie impersonation, the walk, the talk, the whole undead shebang, you might just be able to slip through a horde undetected. It's a risky strategy, no doubt, but hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, right? Think of it like this. You're an anthropologist venturing into the heart of a remote jungle to study a tribe with a unique language and customs. To gain their trust and avoid becoming a human sacrifice, you need to blend in, to become one of them, at least superficially. The same principle applies to surviving a zombie horde. You need to speak their language, move like them, even smell like them, though hopefully not quite as bad. It's about suspending your disbelief, embracing the absurdity of the situation and using it to your advantage. And if you need inspiration, look no further than the cinematic masterpiece that is Shaun of the Dead. Remember that iconic scene where Shaun and his ragtag group of survivors stumble through a zombie horde by mimicking their movements? That's zombie mimicry in action, folks. All right, let's face it, sometimes the best laid plans go awry. You've misjudged the horde's trajectory, your distraction fizzled faster than a dying star, and your zombie impression wouldn't fool a brain-dead slug. What's your next move? Run! Remember those CDHD zombies with their lumbering gaits and poor motor skills? Well, here's where their limitations become your saving grace. You see, humans, with our bipedal agility and evolved musculature, have a distinct advantage when it comes to speed and maneuverability. Think about it. We're the descendants of hunters who chased down gazelles across the savannah and outmaneuvered saber-toothed tigers. Our bodies are hardwired for speed and agility. Zombies, on the other hand, are basically walking corpses with rotting muscles and decaying motor neurons. They might be relentless, but they're not exactly track stars. So when all else fails, channel your inner Olympian and unleash your inner Usain Bolt. Sprint through those narrow alleyways, leap over those abandoned cars, zigzag your way through the horde like a caffeinated squirrel. It's about exploiting the evolutionary advantage that millions of years of natural selection have bestowed upon us. It's about using your body's natural abilities to outrun, outmaneuver, and ultimately outlast the shambling hordes. Remember, in the cosmic race for survival, it's not always the biggest or the strongest who survive, but the fastest and the most adaptable. We've all been there. Watching a zombie movie, yelling at the screen, "Don't go in there! Are you kidding me? Just talk to it!" But here's the harsh truth, folks. You can't reason with a zombie. It's like trying to explain astrophysics to a potted plant. You see, those intricate language circuits in our brains, the ones that allow us to communicate, reason, and debate the finer points of zombie survival strategies, yeah, those are pretty much fried in a zombie's brain. They're running on pure instinct, driven by the most primal part of their reptilian brain, the fight response. So before you try to engage in a philosophical debate about the ethics of consuming human flesh or appeal to their long-lost humanity, remember this. You're dealing with a creature whose entire existence is governed by an insatiable hunger for brains. Imagine trying to reason with a black hole. It's not going to listen, it's not going to negotiate, it's just going to consume anything that gets too close. Zombies are the black holes of the biological world, driven by an insatiable hunger that can never be satisfied. So save your breath, conserve your energy, and focus on more practical survival strategies. Remember, in the grand scheme of the cosmos, communication is a complex and often futile endeavor, especially when dealing with entities whose brains are essentially cosmic dust. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and remember these tips if you ever find yourself in a zombie apocalypse. Remember, knowledge is power, and a healthy dose of skepticism never hurt anyone, even when facing down a horde of the undead. Who knows what the future holds? Maybe we'll encounter real-life zombies. Maybe it'll be a different kind of threat altogether. But one thing's for sure. If we approach every challenge with curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, and a healthy dose of humor, we'll be well equipped to face whatever the universe throws our way. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more survival tips. And remember, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and never stop exploring the universe around you, even if it's filled with zombies.